Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Alien Protocols, the Advanced Protocols Data Project. Well, this is one of the most important videos I've done for a bunch of reasons, and you'll see why at the end. As you guys know, one of the core beliefs on this channel and amongst experiencers and UFO researchers is that consciousness plays a key role in not only reality, but in the greater understanding of the ETI phenomena. But oftentimes people who are interested in disclosure and just interested in a better world in general wonder, what can I do? There's actually a lot you can do. And some of the things you can do are incredibly simple, but have a major impact. And it doesn't even have to take much time away from your day. What I'm talking about is the power of collective consciousness to affect reality. And there are study after study and different types of experiments that have been done and different fields of research that all come back to the reality that consciousness literally affects the physical world. And the greatest minds all know this. But what many people don't realize is something called the Maharishi effect, which basically states that if 1% of a population focuses intent, focuses consciousness, focuses positivity on another environment, if they take their consciousness and use that consciousness and pray and meditate, it literally improves social conditions. It drops crime rates, it reduces alcoholism, all sorts of different factors. Quality of life issues for people go up. And this isn't speculation. This is a fact. Study after study after study. And in fact, I'm going to show you guys some of these studies now so you can know that this is empirically validated by science. Nikola Tesla said something really fascinating. He said, the day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in one decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. To understand the true nature of the universe, one must think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Wow, how ahead of his time was Tesla. Now, quantum physicists and physicists around the world realize that particles and matter isn't really matter. It's energy, frequency, and vibration. And that's basically everything in our universe. There's just all these different types of waves interacting in it and waving and intersecting. And it's really amazing. It's mind-boggling. Niels Bohr said, everything we call real is made of things that cannot be regarded as real. How cool of a wonderfully contradictive statement is that? So here are a series of 13 Maharishi effect studies. These are studies that prove the ability of a group of meditators, at least 1% of a population, to dramatically affect their environment. And these are 13 studies, but some of these are meta studies that have a bunch of cities and a bunch of studies inside of them. But they were all conducted with rigorous scientific protocols. So let's just go through some of them really quickly. Some of these studies, this was one on 24 cities. This one on 24 cities showed in 1973 that there was a significant decrease in crime by 24%. I mean, case after case, study after study. This was another study right here on 160 US cities. And this says that the magnitude is equivalent to an improvement of 17.6%. That is pretty amazing. Another one in New Delhi said that this one was between 1980 and 1981, said that there was a highly statistically significant decrease in crime of 11%. They've done the Philippines, and in the Philippines it was 12% reduction in crime. They did Washington, D.C., they've done England, And the crime rate in England fell by 16% in Merseyside. Pardon me, any residents of there, for screwing up your city's name. Washington, D.C. had a very statistically significant reduction in violent crime, and that was by 23.3%. Lots of studies have been done, gang, by different groups over time. This is one in 1987, and this was done in Rhode Island. And they found that there was even an improvement in the unemployment rates and a reduction in alcohol consumption. How cool is that? In Puerto Rico, they found that crimes in this period of time decreased by 543 crimes per month. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Israel did tests as well, and they saw a reduction in crime of 7.4% in Jerusalem and 4.1% across Israel in general. That's a pretty big significant. And there's tons of references here if anyone wants to follow up on that information. They did a very intense one in Washington, D.C., a very big study, and that decrease was 23.3%. How amazing is that? Now, there's no question that the brain has the power, and consciousness has the power to affect physical reality. And there's a lot of things that prove that, from the double slit experiment, which is very well known, to many other experiments that have been done. But the double slit experiment, there's even like the double slit government-sponsored psychokinesis experiments by the US with our famous friend Eric Davis and John Alexander were all involved. And these sessions proved really dramatically the power of the mind to produce psychokinetic effects. There were tons of experiments on global consciousness on random number generators, and those have proven conclusively the power of the mind to affect reality. There have been tons of remote viewing experiments done since all the way back at SRI that prove the power of the mind to see non-locally, accurately. We've talked about remote viewing and the powers of the mind in that context many times on this channel. But there's also experiments that were done on the physical structure of water, where if you think positive thoughts, it becomes these beautiful geometric shapes, but when there's negative thoughts, they're all chaotic and very kind of ugly looking. Another example of the mind's ability to affect reality. The placebo effect and the nocebo effect, which is the opposite, both have been proven conclusively to be real. So there's even been studies on teleportation, which is really weird. And the Republic of China published several papers on this. And in fact, after this, they went classified on it because the information was pretty stunning. They've shown the ability of people to move objects through other material, into a test tube, out of a test tube, into and through paper envelopes, out of paper envelopes. Even under high-speed cameras, they found that it happened in an incredibly quick fraction of a second. I think it was 1/24 of a second or something. Really fascinating stuff. So there are case after case, study after study showing the powers of the mind and showing the power of the Maharishi effect. So you can make a difference. You can make a difference today. You can literally physically affect and change and improve our world. So please explore the powers of meditation. We have tons of meditation tips here. Email us at alienprotocols@gmail.com and we will send you tips and information on different meditation types. We also have Psi training tips. So please make our world a better place with the power of your intention. Much love to you and yours.